process. Jim, could you start us off on that? What do we do when we leave this place? Where do we start?
Well, there's a pretty long list of life systems, right? Your health life system, your marriage, your relationships, your business, your career, your enterprise, entrepreneur. And I think what we wanted to do is to create an incredible menu of ideas to draw from, and then just start the process. If you've been neglecting your health lately, why not start there? If you've neglected something else, why not start there? It's difficult to just go back and raise the level of all life systems. But just take the one that's in, the most need of repair or the most need of stimulation or acceleration and start with that one. Because here's the key. All disciplines affect each other. Every lack of discipline affects the rest. And then the positive key is every new discipline affects the rest. So if you pick up this menu, take it home, and go back to something that really needs some attention, and maybe a little extra refined discipline or a new discipline started on some project. I promise you, when you start that, the early return will get you excited about continuing, and it'll also inspire you to go through all the rest of your life systems and see if you can't fine-tune all of those as you go.
Other thoughts? Just jump on in. Brian.
There's a wonderful principle that you can use all your life, and it's called the magic wand principle. And what holds us back more than anything else to make the changes is we think of all the reasons why we can't, and we're overweight, and we don't have the money, and so on. So imagine that you have a magic wand, and you could wave this magic wand over any part of your life and make it perfect in every way. You say, if this part of my life was perfect in every way, what would it look like? If my health was perfect, how much would I weigh? What exercises would I do? What sort of foods would I eat if I was living a really healthy life? If my finances were perfect? If my family life was perfect? So what you do is you imagine you have a magic wand, and then you imagine and visualize what it would be like if it was perfect. And then you come back to the present and say, what one step could I make today that would begin moving me in that direction? As Dennis talked about Confucius, the journey of 1,000 leagues begins with a single step. So therefore, imagine this perfect future in the most important area of your life. And if you're with your spouse, say, honey, if we could make our lives perfect in every way in this area, what would it look like? What would our home life be like, family? What would our finances be like, and so on? And write them down, because that clarifies them in your mind. And then just say, what one step could we make today to begin moving in that direction? And as Jim says, take the first step, which starts the process of momentum. It starts you in moving. And the success from the first step reinforces you and motivates you to take the second step, and away you go. And a year from now, when you come back, you'll have absolutely incredible stories to tell. You'll start your stories with, you won't believe what happened to me in this last year.
Well, my experience used to be I would come to seminars, and I can't tell you how many. I couldn't count them. There have been to so many. You've been living in a perfect world for 3 days. You probably haven't heard a negative word in 3 days. You've had a bunch of people coaching you, cheering you, being lifted up from on stage, the person sitting next to you, the person you ate with, the new friends you made. You've been living in a perfect world. You've got dreams. You feel, especially if this is the first time you've ever seen these phenomenal folks, you've got a new electricity about you, a new energy about you. And you're going to go home to an imperfect world. And the stuff is going to hit the fan. Life happens. And I used to lose it because I wanted to live in that perfect world. You have to remember what you had here. You'll never be the same again. I can't remember what great person Brian would, or Dennis would, Jim would probably know, Charlie. But the mind once expanded by a great idea never goes back to its original shape.